Your very first RV trip does not have to be a disaster. I'm going to show you how to make it unforgettable and a very good experience. So hold on. All right, let's get started. Here we go. One of the very first things that you need to do before you ever go on your first RV trip is when you got your walkthrough on your coach, whether you bought it from a dealer or you bought it from an individual, videotape the walkthrough. Videotape how it works. Videotape everything you can about the RV, how the water system works, how the black tanks work, how the hitch works. Get it all on tape. That way, if you have any questions, you can go back and review the tape. And one of the most important things is make sure you understand how the hitch works. Because if you've never worked with towing and hitches before, they're really basically simple, but you want to make sure that the hitch is installed correctly. And in my case, I have a weight distribution and sway bars that they're installed correctly. It's not overwhelming, but it can be a little bit intimidating the first time when you have to do it by yourself. If you got a videotape, you can look back on it and know exactly how to do it and make sure it's done correctly. After we videotaped the walkthrough from a dealer, after I did a little bit more investigation and read the owner's manual, I found out that they told us some things that were not correct. They made some mistakes. And I'm just saying, even though they're experts, they may have different opinions or they may not be up to date with the latest and greatest. In our case, they didn't realize that the Grand Design had some features that they were not aware of. Second of all, shakedown trip. Your very first camping trip should be a very short trip to somewhere local. In our case, we went to a local state park. It was about 30 minutes from my house. That was kind of twofold. Number one, we'd made the trip several times, and we did a lot of preparation. In fact, we reserved the campsite. We drove our car to the campsite and looked it over before we ever took the camper there. So we kind of knew what we were getting into. And being familiar with something, knowing the roads and not knowing you have to make the right turn, wrong turn, that helps the first time out. Because trying to turn around your trailer that you're pulling in a very small confined space is challenging. Let's not do that on the first trip out. The other thing, the first trip out, if it's local, you know where the local stores are. You know the Home Depots, the Lowe's, the Harbor Freights, the grocery stores, the Ace Hardware. So if you forgot something, whether it's a tool, food, maybe you forgot your chalk blocks or whatever, you know where the local stores are, you know where you can go and get them, and you can eliminate the forgotten items easily because you know the area and you know where the local stores are. And here's some of the suggestions my wife had. Make your meals simple the first time out. You're going to be a little bit frustrated with the way the cooktop works or the stove works, or if you're grilling outside on a Blackstone away from your back patio or whatever, it's going to be different and it's going to be a little bit stressful. Granted, everybody knows how to cook, but it's a little different cooking out over an open campfire. Make sure you have a menu and make sure you have plenty of food to go with that menu. My wife tends to overpack and overcook when it comes to the food side. I really don't complain. I've never gone hungry. But if you do have a menu, spices, what oils, what accessories that go with cooking, salt and pepper, paper plates, paper napkins, all that stuff, it all goes hand in hand. And that's when you do your shakedown trip. If you forgot spatulas, you can either run home or you can run to the local grocery store and pick up a spatula. This is my wife's suggestion. Load the refrigerator a day or two before you get ready to go. In her case, she loaded the refrigerator and she double checks it. She goes, oh, I forgot the whipping cream or I forgot the butter. And, she can run out there and go, oh, nope, I got plenty of butter. It just makes life a little simpler if you load that refrigerator a day or two ahead of time before your first trip. That way you can keep stocking it, and you'll probably fill it full. Believe me, the first time out we packed everything. We packed instead of 4 days, we packed for 4 weeks as far as food goes. But anyway, it worked out. I would advise you to book your travel days for the weekdays. And when weekdays, I mean Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, it's busy. You're going to have people pulling in the campsites. You're going to have people backing in. You're going to have people wanting to leave early there, and you're going to have lines at the dump stations. And all this adds to stress. If you pull in on a Thursday and you're the only one there within 3 or 4 campsites, you don't have to worry about blocking the road. You just have to worry about getting into your campsite. And the same thing when it goes to leaving. When you leave, you're the only one leaving. You're not having to wait in line. You can take your time. You can double check your rig. You can walk over it. You can make sure that you're ready to go. On Sundays, the dump stations are always packed. There's always a line. So unless you want to wait in line, and unless you want somebody behind you pressuring you, don't leave on a Sunday. Your first time out, if it's at all possible, get a drive-through, a pull-through campsite. I'm going to tell you that there's several reasons why. Number one, backing is the most frustrating, stressful part of owning an RV if you've never backed up a trailer before. Second of all, when you hook up that trailer and you're pulling it out for the first time, it's making noises, it's swaying, there's motion, there's all these things that are going on with your tow vehicle that you've never experienced before. So when you're driving down the road and it's making these creepy sounds, or you feel a little bit of wobble in your vehicle, or a little bit of bumping, swaying, that's all normal, but it's not normal to you yet. So that adds some stress. So now by the time you get to the campsite, you're all stressed out. Now you think, oh my God, I got to back up. No, you don't. You just pull through. You pull through, you stop, and you get camp set up. So just remember, pulling a camper for the very first time is intimidating enough, but backing it into a campsite can be the most intimidating, stressful item that you do on the whole camping experience for the whole outing. So pull throughs first time. Also, communication with the person helping you back up is mandatory. My wife gets out, she grabs a walkie-talkie, and she tells me the way she tells me is, as I'm backing in, I need to be more driver's side or more passenger side. No lefts and rights. It's passenger side or driver's side. And another tip here, if you get in there and you just feel a little bit confused or don't understand what's going on, stop. Get out of your vehicle and look around. You might realize that you're starting to jackknife, and you may not be able to see that through your mirrors. Your wife may not understand how you really need to get into that campsite, because this is the first time you guys have done this together. And communication is the key. And communication is not just between you and your person helping you back in, but sometimes it's getting out and looking and physically seeing what's going on so you can get that camper in the right position to get it parked where you want it parked. It can be a little bit intimidating. That's why if you go on a Tuesday and there's nobody else around, if it takes you 30 minutes to pull in and the guy next to you does it in 3, who cares? You're the only ones out there. When you get ready to leave and you get ready for your departure, my wife and I have a real simple way of doing it. She does the inside, I do the outside. She gets her work done a lot quicker than I get mine done, but that's okay. Then when we're done, I walk through with her on the inside, and I make sure the ice maker's on the floor, everything's secured, the awnings are in, slides are in, refrigerator's secure. Then she comes out and she overlooks my work that I did on the outside. She makes sure the awning's in, the stairs are in, that the doors are latched, that the stabilizers are pulled up. We review each other's work. And we've caught things we've forgotten, and I'm the most guilty one. And have her become a little bit familiar with the hitching process, because you got a safety chain, you have a emergency brake cable, and you have your 7-pin connector that runs your taillights and everything, your turn signals on your coach. Make sure that she knows those have to be done every time. They're easy to forget. You get in a hurry. But again, a second set of eyes will save you a lot of headaches. So again, when you're getting ready to break camp or leave home for the first time, divide and conquer. Have your In my case, I have my wife do some of the stuff, I do some of the stuff, and we review each other's work. It really works, and teamwork. You know, when you're all done and you're ready to go, and you got out 15 minutes before you were going to, and you give each other a high five. Yeah, we did it. It's a good feeling. The dump station. The dump station can be very intimidating. First of all, make sure your black tank is always kept closed. Second of all, you want to try and dump on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or Thursday. Monday through Thursday, maybe that's a better way to say it, because there'll be no lines. You won't be waiting on anybody, and you won't have to sit there and think about it. There's nobody behind you pressuring you to hurry up and get out of the way. So you can pull in, you can hook up your hose, you can pull the valves, you do your you do your black tank first, and you empty it, and you wait. And you want to make this a safe experience. I'm not going to say good experience, because it's just one of those necessary things that have to be done. Once you get the black tank dumped, then you want to do the gray tank. The gray tank dump helps rinse out the black tank a little bit. Once you're all done, you get out the handy wipes, clean yourself up, throw everything away, and off you go. Now, if you got somebody behind you who's waiting on you, you will tend to make mistakes. You might forget to dump your gray tank. You might only get your black tank dumped. Then you get home and your gray tank's full. Believe me, I've not done it, but I have a friend who talks about doing that all the time because they were in such a big hurry because people were pressuring him. I think we're going to wrap it up here. I'm Chuck from Lake to Lake. I want to thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And until we meet around the campfire, y'all take care now. Bye-bye.